Okay, I got this really cute message over Instagram that said, "Hello, Mrs. Knight, your fan from Kazakhstan." The question that he asked in this message was, volunteering is no longer an option because of COVID. Could you please give me some suggestions on what I could do to further my experience and gain more knowledge? Yes, I am here to answer that exact question for you today. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I've got some really fast and exciting options for you to gain experience even though we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So based on the question that I got, it's around volunteering. How do you still get volunteer experience? Tip number one is to call up a local organization in your town or city and ask them how you can help. So that could be simply cleaning their tanks. It could be helping with data. It could be calling donors. I would encourage you to call and offer, either if you have a specific skill or interest, to offer that particular skill set up and say, this is what I'm really good at. This is how I could potentially help you. Or the other option is that you just simply offer to help in any way possible. So being flexible and adaptable to what their needs are is really the best way for you to help an organization and get some experience. Option number two is that you look into citizen science projects. Citizen science is pretty much taking citizens like yourselves to help with science that involves large amounts of data. I found this really interesting website called zooniverse.org. They have dozens of different projects on their website that allow you to get involved with citizen science. And for example, there's a really cool webcam that is at the bottom of the ocean, and they're looking for volunteers to help them identify the fish that swim by this deep sea camera. So they have hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage, but they need people who can spend time looking through this footage and helping them identify fish. How cool is that? They also have another one that's a seal webcam. That's a project that's looking at counting the number of seals that are on the beach that are within focus of this camera. Pretty cool. Check out the website. It's linked below, and there might be an interesting project on there for you to get involved with. Tip number three is raise money for these organizations. For example, it could be committing to doing a 50K run over the next month and raising money from your friends and family to help you do that for a charity that you believe in. It could also be doing a 30-day challenge to either clean up the beach every single day or to go waste-free for 30 days. The money can go to an organization that's in your small community or an organization that's more international. It's a really great experience to both put yourself out there to do something that helps the planet and at the same time gives money back to an organization that helps the oceans. All right, tip number four is all around expanding your knowledge. Getting experience is also around what kind of information you know about. There's some really interesting courses online that are often, many of them are free, in order to learn more about the oceans, learn more about animals, learn more about oceanography, lots of different topics. For example, Coursera has dozens of different online courses, and some of them are offered from really top tier universities, like Princeton has one of them, and Cornell. Being able to simply log on and take a virtual course, get a certificate, it's really great experience, and it does show that you have that self-initiative, and it also shows that you are dedicated and committed to this as your career path and to learn more about this really big field of marine biology. You can also take out books for free from the library or watch documentaries on Netflix or on YouTube. Making a list of all of the different books or documentaries that you've read or watched about the oceans, and maybe even just taking some personal notes about the things that you learned, can be a really great library for yourself around the things that you've learned. It can almost become like a little textbook that you yourself have written for yourself. You also could potentially write posts about it on social or even on LinkedIn, which is a more professional platform for you to kind of show to companies who might be looking to hire you. If there's posts on your LinkedIn page that indicate that you've watched an interesting documentary or written a small book report about a incredible marine biologist or a really interesting animal book, those are really great ways to just point to your LinkedIn page and say, look at this initiative that I've taken to better myself, expand my knowledge, and teach those around me about the importance of ocean conservation or about this really fascinating animal that I've learned about. While we're talking about social media, I would encourage you to go out and search the hashtag marine biology or hashtag oceans and find 10 new organizations that you aren't already following that are doing interesting stuff in the field of marine biology. This can be a great way for you to expand your knowledge, expand your understanding of the scope of the field of marine biology and different jobs that exist out there and different organizations that you might want to work for in the future. If you're in high school, one other great way for you to get volunteer experience is to join a marine biology club. If your school doesn't already have one or just a biology club, maybe you start one. And maybe that club helps put together events to celebrate things like World Oceans Day or World Whale Day. And you find ways to pull your student body together to do interesting things, whether it be virtually, maybe watching a movie together online and then coming back together and discussing what you learned and how you might be able to help. Or it might be doing some kind of something together as a class where you go and do a shoreline cleanup together, or you as a class raise money to support an organization that's in your community. If you are still in high school, a really amazing friend of mine, Dr. Elaine Leung, has her own nonprofit called Sea Smart, and they run a marine biology and training program for girls. It is a really awesome program that you can take virtually online. It is a great way for you to have real experience with a doctor of marine biology and her amazing staff team. It's a really great program. I'll link to it below. If you're in university, another approach might be to simply talk to your professors and ask them if they need any help. If your professors need any help in their labs or with their data analysis, seriously, like that is valuable experience that you can't get anywhere else. Finally, there's no other greater experience or volunteer opportunities than just simply being out by the ocean. If you can get out on the shoreline and experiencing, intertidal areas or swimming, snorkeling, or diving, all of those types of opportunities are absolutely invaluable. One great way to do that is simply by going out and investing in a local field guide and going out one day and trying to find 10 animals in the book. And then the next time you go out, try and find 10 more. Being able to tick off the animals that live in your region and being able to identify them all, that is invaluable experience that you can bring to any position that you work in next, whether it be in an aquarium, in a lab, or it be on the water. So those are my tips on how to volunteer and get more work experience, even though we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Again, thanks so much to my friend in Kazakhstan for this great question. I hope it helped, and I hope to help anyone else who's watching today. Feel free to write me at marinebiologymel on my Instagram, or you can email me at marinebiologymel@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Gotta stay hydrated. Okay.